Taylor Wealth Saver here, bringing you your Friday financial tip. This week, we're diving in to show yourself some financial love. The part 2 of our series, Going from Beyond Living Paycheck to Paycheck. Last week, as a quick recap, the first step that we have to make sure we do is that we want to begin to create ways that are cultivating wealth. The first one was our mindset change that directly affects the way that we think about finances and that we actually are spending money. The second thing that we want to look into is going from the paycheck to paycheck. Now we have money left over. What are we doing with that? So the first goal that we want to create is having a savings account. There are 3 main savings accounts that we're going to talk about in ways that you can utilize them. The first one is a basic emergency savings account. Now, knock on wood, this does not happen, but just about every day, if we turn on the local news, we'll hear about a terrible car accident or auto accident that occurred. Whenever there's an auto accident, either one or both parties have to pay their deductible for their car insurance. In the state of Florida, it's considered a no-fault state. So, unless you can prove that you were not at fault for the accident, it is possible that you may still have to pay your deductible even though someone ran into you. Just depends. And that's one of the things of being a no-fault state. So with that, we encourage people, when you're starting to build your savings account, first, let's start with a realistic goal. Yes, we say the 3 to 6 months worth of income is great to have, which it is. And that's what everybody should strive for. We say that, but someone who's living paycheck to paycheck, 3 to 6 months is not very realistic. It's just not. So what we want to take a look at is creating ways that maybe we could save $50 a pay period or $50 a month until we then reach that $500 savings account. And once we reach that, then we're going to start to build it up to $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, $2,500, $3,000, $3,500, $4,000, and we'll keep going. That is going to be our first emergency savings account that we discuss. Typically, with a lot of financial institutions, you want to put that very basic one into just your basic share savings account or whatever type of savings account you have at your financial institution. The next option we want to look at once we've started to create that is then possibly either looking at one of 2 things. With that, we're going to take a quick break. I would like to go ahead and throw in, if you haven't already, make sure in that bottom left-hand corner of the video, you go ahead and click subscribe. And once you subscribe, you can actually click on the ellipse and click on notifications so that you receive a direct notification every time our video drops. The first one is going to be known as a CD. Not a CD that we listen to, put in the car before iTunes came out or Spotify, whatever it is that you listen to your music on now, the digital streaming. No, we're talking about a certificate of deposit. What is a certificate of deposit? I'm glad you asked. A certificate of deposit is basically when you give money to a financial institution and you're allowing them to hold on to your money for a certain time frame. Once that time frame passes, or while that time frame is passing, you earn a yield, which is interest paid to you for lending your money to that financial institution. Now, what does that do? Indirectly, that's going to increase your savings because you're getting paid to lend out your money, allowing your money to make money. One of our goals as being a tailored wealth saver. The second option we want to take a look at afterwards is known as a high yield savings account, better known as a money market account. What's that? So while your basic savings account may pay like 0.25% interest or yield, your money market account may pay closer to 1, 2, 3, or even a higher yield. However, with money market accounts, they're typically, you are expected to have a certain balance that the account cannot go under. So there's a minimum balance for that account. If the account goes under, there may be fees associated with that. Something to keep in mind with these savings accounts, regardless if it's a basic share savings, a basic money market account, or a CD, known as a certificate of deposit, is that you want to take a look to see what fees are actually associated with these accounts. Is there a fee? Do you have to keep a certain balance in the account? What happens if you drop below? What happens if you don't make enough transactions per month? These are some of the things that we want to take in consideration once we're building the savings account. Another food for thought. If you have direct deposit or when you're paid, immediately place that money into that account, into the savings account, regardless if it's the basic savings, money market, or CD. The reason why we're going to encourage you to do that is because if you do not do that immediately, it may happen that if the spending plan falls off, now you dip into that savings account. And here's our rule. The savings account is not meant to go into monthly. If it was, that would be called an extension of the checking account. So it's not meant for that purpose. This week, we have discussed step 2 in creating the wealth process. After the completion of this series, our videos will be airing once every first Friday of the month. So we'll be moving from every Friday to the first Friday of every month. We want to make sure we always bring value to you as our wealth savers. This is Tailored Wealth Saver. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. And please, this weekend, show yourself some love.